Street goal scorer Sandy Robertson also in from the start. Peter Hoostra and Scott Nisbet were on the bench for Rangers. United were captained as usual by the new Footballer of the Year, Maurice Malpas, and welcomed back Dave Narey for only his third Premier outing of the season. French and Boland were the United substitutes, and our commentary team consists of Andy Gray and Jock Brown.
And the referee tonight is Mr. David Syme from Rutherglen, who has the distinction of refereeing the Scottish Cup final on the 18th of May between Motherwell and tonight's participants, Dundee United. But tremendous atmosphere provided by the Rangers supporters inside the stadium. And United, with so many changes, will be anxious to get the chance to settle early in the match. There's Alec Cleland. And the ball played forward there by Cowan. There's Johnston's first contribution. Sandy Robertson has scored the winner on Saturday, opening up with an accurate pass for Stevens. And Ian Ferguson trying to run behind Billy McKinlay, who did a good marking job. Well, Ferguson back after a long spell, hampered by injury.
And looking at the teams early on, Jock, I think Rangers are certainly going to adopt a 4-4-2 with that man on the picture earlier, Ian Ferguson, playing wide on the right.
Headed away by Steinman. Played first time by Goff. And a good header there from Ian Ferguson. Well taken by Main. Well, a very good start for the keeper, but Ian Ferguson looking very goal-hungry indeed.
Well, it's almost a perfect start for Walter Smith in his first game here at Ibrox as manager. It's a half-hit shot, but Mark Hateley just flicks it on, and Ferguson shows great determination, and that's a good confidence-boosting save from Alan Main.
There's Goff's header. Foul given there as McKinlay came in on Ferguson with his boot raised. Fine pass from Brown. Here's Stevens. Now Ferguson. Stevens continuing the run. Is away from O'Neill. Peels the handball against Steinman. The referee had a look across there at the far side linesman before waving play on.
Yes, I think there was some contact, Job, but I'm not sure that Guy Steinman could do anything about it. It's a wonderful run from Gary Stevens to take him clear. Looks to play it across. I think it comes off shoulder arm, kind of runs down him. I think the officials are proved there quite right.
Steinman survives that appeal. Steinman's header. Robertson getting away from Cleland. That's Richard Goff. Steinman, the marker there for Johnston. No one waiting in the middle. Hateley had gone on the near post, and Rangers players looking towards Mark Walters, who had found himself wide on the left when that cross came over.
Well, actually, Mark Walters has gone to sleep, Jock, to be totally honest. That's the type of position that when you're playing wide and the ball's coming in from the opposite side, your wide man must be in the penalty area threatening. He just went to sleep.
A delicate little glance there from Hateley, trying to exploit the pace of Walters. He's away from Malpas. Excellent cover provided by Steinman. That really was top-class defending by the Dutchman.
Yes, it was, but look at the pace of Mark Walters. And that will be a worry that Maurice Malpas has been caught out like that. But Steinman showing good positioning and awareness there and cutting that out.
Explosive pace there from Walters. Now taking the corner. O'Neill taking no chances, thumping that out of play. United, of course, remember, have still a European place to play for in the league. A couple of points this evening would make an enormous difference to them. Rangers 2 points ahead of Aberdeen, heading for a showdown here on the 11th of May against Aberdeen. They can't afford a slip-up. United with 2 chances of qualifying for Europe through their league position, which remains third, or by winning the Cup next month. Here's Stevens. The left foot cross helped on there by Ferguson, an awkward one for Main. Dipping under the crossbar, that once again was good goalkeeping.
Yes, it certainly was. I don't think that Ian Ferguson gets it exactly the way he would have liked. It's Gary Stevens who finds the space, comes back, It's a good ball in. I think he gets a little bit too much on it, but it's one of those that can embarrass a goalkeeper.
Alec Cleland, who had some treatment a few moments ago, is back on the ground, and referee Syme clearly is anxious that he should leave the field if he's not fit to continue. Well, this would be a blow to United. Stuart Hogg there, the sprint coach at United, on the walkie-talkie to Jim McLean in the director's box. And Cleland appears to be in some distress. He's coming off.
Yes, I don't think he's going to take much part. I noticed the physiotherapist signalling that was it, to get the substitute Strange, and it does look like Hamish French is coming on.
Well, a very experienced substitute, Hamish French. Another man who's been bedeviled with injuries in the last couple of seasons. So an enforced change by United. Cleland is off injured, and Hamish French may well go into exactly the same position. Jackson beaten by Goff. There's Neri. The offside flag is up against Michael O'Neill, and the referee reacts to the signal from the linesman John Love. There's Stevens with a free kick. Well won this time by Clark. Sandy Robertson showing his great close control. Fine play there by Sandy Robertson. Perhaps a shade ambitious with his shot in the end.
Yeah, I think he just got a little bit carried away. Does ever so well. Brilliant control and skill. He looks up, decides to shoot, but if you just take a look, Mark Hateley had peeled away to the far post and was completely wide open.
Walters finding space in the left to attack Maurice Malpas. This time it's Hateley! A powerful header from the Rangers striker. Under pressure all the way. Yeah, the combination that I'm sure Walter Smith was hoping would link up tonight almost produces the first goal. It's a great ball to the back post, and that's a typical big man's header coming in there, losing strength, just doesn't get over the top of it. There's Johnston. Goff again, trying to chip it across for Walters. Very good defending by Malpas. He's not at all happy with his teammates in central defence.
Yeah, Maurice Malpas certainly showing an international defender's instinct there by seeing the danger and just getting a vital touch.
Main is committed, he appears to be in trouble. There's the chance, it's cleared off the line by McInally. The header there by Goff, and it's a life for United. Well, a goal has been threatened now for the last 10 minutes or so, and this was almost it.
Well, I'm not sure if this is a great clearance or a bad miss. Certainly Richard Goff doesn't get the power out of light, and it's Jim McInally on the line just sticking out a left foot. But they're getting closer and closer, and United will have to weather this piece of pressure at the moment.
Long throw from Cowan, looking for Hateley. Corner kick's been given again. Came off John Clark, says the referee. Well, Alan Main will be a little bit disconcerted, I think, about his last ever at the corner kick. Here's Walters. Checking away from French, closed down quickly by John O'Neill, back helping in defence. A little surprised perhaps that Walters didn't fire in another high corner kick for Alan Main after his error on the earlier one. Here's Hateley again coming across for the throw at the near post. Headed away there by Clark, there's the header and the breakthrough at last. The header found the net. It came from Ian Ferguson, and it's his first goal of the season. Well, he's been injured in the process. This was a goal which depended on the courage of Ferguson.
Well, they've been putting on the pressure in the last couple of minutes, and Tom Cowan decides to throw it long. So United head that gets there, but that's a brave header. As it comes in, he must know he's going to get a kick in the face, but it's well worth it when you see the ball hit the back of the net.
Nearly guiding that back towards Alan Main. So nearly having a torrid return to first team duty. Goff plays it through. Johnston is onside. It's a golden opportunity for the second. Walters calls the ball square. And how did he miss? Well, the United players thought that Walters should have been flagged offside, but Johnston certainly set this up for him.
I think this must go down as a miss of the season. I honestly would have found that difficult myself with my bad right foot to have missed that.
So there's Jackson with a header in midfield. McInally, now Malpass. McInally stepping away from Robertson. Here's John O'Neill. Taking on Cowan again. Oh, that's good play by O'Neill. There's the chance on for Michael O'Neill. And it appeared to be cleared away there by Michael O'Neill from Ian Ferguson. Wow, what an attack that was from United. Billy McKinlay, the player shooting the ball over the bar, but I think we'll find in this replay that Michael O'Neill prevents an own goal.
Which I think he probably does as it comes over, and it caused all sorts of problem. It's driven across, it looks like it might be going in, and Rangers just can't clear the lines, and United really don't take advantage of what was a golden opportunity.
He goes off on one of those forceful runs to the flank, followed by Clark. It's picked up though by Malpass. It's asking a lot of McInally. Spackman snapping into the challenge very quickly, and that is the last tackle of what has been a very entertaining first half. The team separated by Ian Ferguson's excellent, brave goal in 34 minutes. Diving in after the long throw from the left was headed on by John Clark. Ferguson went in where boots were flying to put Rangers ahead. That's a deserved position at half-time. The score here at Ibrox, Rangers 1, Dundee United 0. So Rangers, who were so convincing for long spells in that first half, get underway in the second half, looking for an early goal, I'm sure, to settle any remaining nerves, both on the field and in the stands around us. But United will be fired up, I'm sure, to compete in this second period. There's Guy Steinman with the clearance, Nigel Spackman. Jackson on his own again up front, putting pressure on Goff. Goff reacting well. Woods coming out of his penalty box to find Goff once again. Johnston helps that on. Haitley clearly offside. No argument this time from the big striker. Looks across to the linesman. But Dundee United, and they don't appear to have made too many significant tactical changes at this stage.
No, I can't see any change of any sort, Jock, at the moment. I would be interested to see if they ask Hamish French to push up more from the midfield area to try and get in contact with Darren Jackson.
Here's Jim McInally, very much a driving force in the middle of the field for United. Now Neri, getting no peace there from Nigel Spackman. Very confident play again from Goff. Good play from Johnston. Neri having to sprint there to get on terms with Haitley. Good covering play by Malpass, but Haitley showing he's not just a threat in the air.
Well, he certainly shows great strength and pace, but you're right. Maurice Malpass deserves an enormous amount of credit. Had he not come across and forced Mark Haitley to take the shot early, it certainly could have cost him another goal.
Jackson setting it up for McKinlay. Played back there for McInally and turned away by John Brown. He wasn't taking any chances there. Chris Woods was diving behind him.
Well, no change tactically, Jock, but certainly a change in attitude from United. They've come out second half and have pushed men forward to get in there and put a bit of pressure on this Rangers defence for possibly the first time.
So Jim McInally, the Scotland international, coming close there. So it's John O'Neill turning. Good play again. McKinlay fighting the ball over. And Rangers defenders queuing up at that far post. There was no United player in that area, although Goff wasn't to know that.
Well, with chances few and far between, I can't understand why Dundee United have not got a man in that position. That's a prime position to be in when someone's crossing the ball. Back post.
Well, here's John Clark, who started his career at Canada as a striker, joining the attack. Headed away well by Goff. There's Hamish French. That's a good effort. Turned over by Woods. Well, what a magnificent save it was.
Well, this is a sign of a good goalkeeper. When you've been inactive as long as Chris Woods has been, just look at that. He has to spring, and that's an important touch.
So Dundee United making a statement early in the second half with this spell of pressure. There's Billy McKinlay. Well, a roar of appreciation there from the Rangers fans for Chris Woods. He hasn't had a great deal to do this evening.
Well, the worst thing you can do when a goalkeeper has made a wonderful save is to take the resulting corner and plonk it straight into the 6-yard box at that kind of height. You know he's going to have the confidence to just come and collect it.
Walter Smith has now come down from a director's box with instructions there for Mark Hafley and Mark Walters. Well, he's bound to be concerned about the way things are going now. Well, there's going to be a change made shortly by Dundee United. Now the referee waiting here now. This is a moment that you may be able to recall in the future. The player coming on is one of Scotland's most promising youngsters, Gary Boland, who was a key man in the Scotland under-16 team, which went to the final of the World Championships a couple of years ago, is coming on for his first team debut. So a real moment to savour for this young man, just 18 years old last month, replacing Michael O'Neill. And here's Rangers on the break again, and the ball fired across and behind for the goal kick. Well, while the Aberdeen squad may well be supporting Dundee United, ironically enough, the Celtic squad will be supporting Rangers, and that's a real turn-up.
Don't you believe that, Jock?
Place in Europe at stake. Here's O'Neill. Brought down by Robertson. No, the referee waving play on. It looked as though that would be a free kick. Well, United players all expected a foul there. It wasn't given by referee sign. And here's Ian Ferguson. A miscue there by Neary, held back Johnston. And a good shot towards the near post. The referee indicating that he allowed the advantage rule because Johnston retained possession.
It's good refereeing as he gets through. There you see the tug from David Neary. But Johnson shows great strength, and this is good goalkeeping. Watch it dip. Could easily have gone under Alan Main's body, but kept his eyes firmly on the ball. Good goalkeeping.
Johnston's header on. Here's Haitley. Played forward by Ferguson. Good positioning by Johnston. John Clark in his way. He's done a good job already, Clark, holding up Johnston's progress, allowing his teammates to come behind him. 20 minutes left, 1-0 to Rangers. Here's Stevens. And a vital touch there, was it, by David Neary? Or did he just do enough to put off Haitley? He clearly thinks that Neary got a touch.
It certainly didn't look as if he did when I first saw that. But as it comes over, I think it just fools Mark Haitley. I think Mark Haitley's thinking he's going to get a touch and possibly just takes his eye off it. And it really was a golden chance for him. He's posed such a threat in the air tonight that he certainly wouldn't have expected him to have missed that.
Lofted forward there by Stevens. Neary doing well against Haitley. That's good play by Steinman. There's Boland. Johnston coming across, chesting it down and getting support from behind in the form of Stevens. Here's Johnston. Rangers happy to retain possession at this stage. Take the sting out of Dundee United. That's chested on by Haitley. Well, United have to summon their reserves of stamina and determination again to get the ball back into that Rangers half on a regular basis. They managed that in the opening 15 minutes or so of the second half, but Rangers have proved resilient. Here's McInally. Trying to get through a gap between Spackman and Robertson. Neatly won there by Steinman. Off goes Darren Jackson. There was a real chance there for Steinman to pick out Jackson on the run. Normally so deadly with that left foot.
Yeah, just for a fraction of a second, Steinman had the opportunity as Darren Jackson made a fine run in between John Brown and Tom Cowan. But Steinman unable to pick him out. But it's far more evenly matched now in this last 5 or 10 minutes.
Cowan playing it forward, much too far ahead of Haitley and Johnston. Here's Malpass. Here's David Neary. McKinley. Tackled firmly by Robertson. Here's Johnston. McKinley still on the ground as Johnston comes forward. That's for Hateley. He's offside. And the ball driven against Hateley by Ferguson. Helped up by Alan Main.
And it could have proved oh so costly as it broke to Maurice Johnston. He looks up, he's looking around, tries to thread it through. Mark Hateley just offside. But even though good goalkeeping for Alan Main, he wasn't to know.
Gary Stevens preparing to take a long throw. A long throw gave Rangers their only goal of the match. It was won well by McKinley. There's Gary Bowen with a header. Here's Steinman. A long chase for Jackson. Leading in there, and Brown is away from the Rangers defender. A chance for United. Jackson trying to go all the way himself. It's fine play. There's John O'Neill. And Jackson complaining bitterly to the referee that he was being fouled inside the penalty area. Well, I think that's a rather desperate appeal. Rangers, in fact, thought that Brown was fouled. There was Jackson, hustled all the way by Spackman. And John O'Neill falling back when he let fly with his shot.
Well, that was the one chance. What that man's capable of doing is running away from defences. And he always makes Rangers pay dearly for it. The unfortunate thing for John O'Neill is it dropped behind him. Had it been in front of him, I feel sure that the young man would have buried the ball in the back of the net. And that really is a let-off for Rangers.
So the Dundee United players being waved forward by Paul Sturrock on the track. Free kick against Hamish French, who's now on the right side of the attack.
United players really haven't had positions in this second half. What they've been allowed to do is, Jim McLean's obviously says, just go out and play. And when you see them play like this, it's amazing that they're so tentative in the early stages of this game.
Well, Walter Smith below is going through agonies at the moment. Closing stages now. Rangers hanging on, and United still trying to come forward. Played back by Stevens. Well, it could all have been so much simpler, as Andy Gray said, had Mark Walters scored with perhaps the easiest chance he's had all season, just after Ian Ferguson put Rangers ahead. That's what's made it all so tense in the second half and giving United hope. Here's O'Neill looking for Jim McInally. It's turned back by Stevens, and McInally once again giving one of those tireless displays in the middle of the field. He really is an amazing man as far as stamina is concerned. Here's Maurice Malpass. Brown's header. Sandy Robertson. A very reckless tackle from the rear there by Billy McKinley. Born out of frustration, I reckon. Oh, I'm sure you're right there. They've put so much into this second half. They'll certainly feel that they've deserved something from it. But I'm sure it's the old adage, if you play badly, not at your best, and win 1-0, then they're the kind of games that win you championships. And at the end of the day, that's what Walter Smith will be looking at if the scoreline stays the same. Not the greatest performance in the world over 90 minutes, but a 1-0 victory against what's been a very, very good performance from Dundee United since the 45-minute mark. So a throw to United. It looks as though Rangers have held on. Ian Ferguson, the key man, with a goal in the first half. Here's McInally surging forward again. There's Sandy Robertson with a long pass back, and Rangers have made it. It's been tense right to the end, but relief now for Walter Smith, the Rangers manager, thanks to Ian Ferguson's goal in 34 minutes. In a spell when Rangers were totally dominant, but it was all so different in that battling second half performance from Dundee United, who will feel at the end of the day they're unlucky not to leave with at least a point. But at full time, the score is Rangers 1, Dundee United 0.
Crucial 2 points once again for Rangers. They stretch their lead now to 4 points over Aberdeen. Aberdeen, of course, have the game in hand. They travel to Love Street on Saturday. Rangers have the weekend off and then go to Fir Park to meet Motherwell. So not a great deal has changed, but Rangers just inched that little bit closer to the Premier Division Championship. And Ian Ferguson, of course, was the man who scored the vital goal, and let's hear what he had to say about, in fact, his first goal since the School Cup semi-final against Dunfermline back in September of 1989. He spoke to David Livingston.
Ian, you've had a miserable season with injury. How much will that goal mean to you tonight?
Yeah, it's a big boost of confidence for me, boys, and just got to keep playing now. The last 2 games to go. Hopefully we can snatch it.
Your ex-manager Graham Souness described you as the unluckiest player he'd ever known through injury. Was that a fair assessment?
Well, I've had a run of bad luck, but that's just the breaks of the game. You've just got to get on with it. Keep your chin up, keep going.
One of the brave headers in football in days gone by was Andy Gray, and he gave you the seal of approval for that header. Did at any time you worry about your injury there?
No, the ball's there, you've got to go for it, so I went for it and got the goal, that's what counts.
He was also making the point that at this time of the season it's almost like the season's starting for you. Is this very important for the team to get players like you coming in fresh?
Well, this is the first real chance I've had to get a run in the team, and hopefully can keep going at the end of the season.
2 games to go, are you going to do it?
Hope so. Confident anyway.
Thanks very much.